uh, there we go. I guess we were.
Did that work out? You can
Yeah,
hear me?
we're live. Here we
Okay.
are.
There we are. I
Yeah,
like it.
we were just talking about some of the stuff that stuff that's been going on and why it's been so busy and everything. And I did the women's world record thing in
Guys
Rockford. It
crushed
was
it.
amazing. We
Crushed
really
it.
did. The previous record was 1,002, and we did 1,433. So
That had to be crazy.
Ellie Rains and her team, they knocked it out of the park, and lots of cool people there. So Chris Summer
Yeah.
Simpson will be getting on here in the future, but she was there, and Gloria, and you weren't there, and I was
Lori.
sad about that. That was like,
I know, and it's okay though. I mean, we've been through some stuff here on this end, and then Don had his birthday the other night, so that was a good little upbeat thing. And we've been working hard on uh our new location. So yeah,
able to
it's
see.
exciting. We'll announce it. We'll talk about that here in the next week or two. But you know, after a hot day trying to get everything orderly and up and ready and going, it's exciting because you can see just what's in store, which is I'm so excited about it. I'm really excited
Nice to
about it.
build that from the concept up, and then reveal it. So we've got a couple of reveals. We got that one. Of course, we'll have the bike reveal eventually. So, some things you got to just keep secret, keep until
That's
it's,
right. We
and
could do little snippets. Like tonight, I imagine our guest will have to give little snippets as to what we're doing and how he's participating. So I'm excited about that.
yeah, it's so important, that I see Dennis Stauber is here and Michelle is here. So,
That's
we're
awesome. Hey kids, nice to see you.
Yeah, so Michelle was there. She is that's my daughter, and she is a newer rider, not new, but it was the first big trip that she took. So not only was this a big trip for her, but she also was there for this record breaking thing. So that was
And you
pretty
guys rode together, right?
yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yes, we've taken just a little bit of a break from some of the podcasts, but it doesn't mean we haven't been working and doing things in the background.
That's true.
It was, yeah, I mean, it was, we both had a super busy spring, and just stepping back for a minute to kind of catch our breath and do some of the things we needed to do to get organized again.
Yes,
As
ma'am.
we, made a decision to extend this so that we could do things right and not be rushed. And so I'm excited about like what's going on, Chicky. You'd like you, you
I'm
know
excited. I'm real excited. We're getting ready to open up Fab Shop and we're going to start, customizing this frame and getting things fitted in there. And then, we have a few people that are going to participate with some handmade stuff. I'm looking forward to sending a little project to Dana from Metalwood Garage. That's going to be fabulous. And then we have some engraving and we have the paint going on, but we also have a couple of cool parts that, we have to make stuff for so that we can get them in there and get them on there to make it a little different. We're using some really good updated stuff also, from a lot of people who are participating, like tonight's guest. And so it's all starting to come again together, and with contributions from like Becky and other individuals who have sent parts and stuff like that. Charlie Crew is sending some stuff. And so yeah, it's real exciting to see it's starting to come together, starting to take on a life of its own. So we're getting everything set up over here and we're gonna go ahead and start doing some video. I have Sarah and David from 73 Motor are gonna help me with the video. They got me getting lights up where I need to be. So because like tonight's guest, I'm not real good with the updated technology, but give me a carburetor, I'll be fine. I'm good.
yeah, for sure. Well, I am super excited about our guest tonight. Because this
Me
is
too.
somebody that not only is being part of our project, but is actually a really personal friend, and I know he is to you too.
Yes.
And he's one of the first people that I actually reached out to when I was going to be doing this, and it looks like he came through with something really, really cool. So let's bring him in
Very
and
much
talk.
so. Yeah, let's
Oh,
do it. The
sure.
one, the
Just when you bring
only
me in, my dogs start barking. That's how it works. Right.
Oh,
Brian Klock. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good, good. How are you, ladies?
yeah.
It's nice to see you're not
It,
that cargo doesn't have you duct taped to the chair and the dog's going after your feet.
yeah, Cargo's out playing with his friends across the road and playing with water balloons and all the things. He'll be coming in here shortly, and I'm sure he'll stick his little head in here somewhere. But um, I'm honored to be on here tonight. I'm honored to have known you ladies for what seems like a bunch of chapters of my life, right?
Mhm.
You're both good friends with, my ex-wife Laura, and I've done things with her, and you know, like
And
she
also
still
your
lives,
current
just
beautiful wife, Vanessa.
yeah, no, and I
Also,
mean, and yeah, and we're all navigating life. Like, Carly was just at the shop today, and hanging out in
oh,
Vanessa's office and talking, and so it's it's not weird, it's not goofy, it's just like, just be humans, be good to one another. It's not that hard. um and so it's a treat, and I know you've watched navigate, if you will, those hurdles of life, and that's part of what happens, right?
Well,
And
what's
so
been fun, Brian, is watching you grow. I mean, the first time I
absolutely.
came to your shop, it was this little tiny shop, little itty
yeah,
bitty tiny shop, and then you bought the building across the street, and then you expanded, and it's just so fun to see somebody with so
My
much
favorite.
joy in their heart, like be successful, so in
it,
My
life.
favorite is the Discovery Biker Build Off, fastest bagger,
yeah,
fastest
yeah, yeah,
FL8s that I
yeah,
know that there was a story with doors open and snow coming in while you were doing it. So,
yeah.
you started you really dug yourself into a spot where you made, I mean, Mitchell, like a big thing. Okay.
It's,
We lose you.
I feel
Everybody's there.
so fortunate. I'm from a little town. There were 60 kids in the whole high school. I was explaining that to somebody at lunch today. And I said, it was 1984 when I graduated. We didn't have the internet. And
Oh,
my daughter started laughing. She goes, "So, like, you wrote your college acceptance letter and sent it via a carrier pigeon?" I said, "No, but I did type it on a real typewriter that, goes like this." She goes, "No way, really?" I said, "Yeah,
Put a
we didn't
stamp
have
on it.
anything else. Yeah, we
oh,
didn't have anything else.
yeah,
Right.
for people who don't know, like, where Clockworks is and what it
Yeah.
is you do, you want to tell them about Mitchell and
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Emory, South Dakota, 25 miles down the road. We're in Mitchell, South Dakota. And so we're just off exit 332 on I-90. It's literally 6 blocks into town. It seems big. It's not big at all. Just pull in. You can't miss it. But we became famous for the biker build off opportunity back in 2006. And we set the land speed record for the world's fastest bagger at the Salt Flats.
Yeah.
And out of that, all I could think of was, man, I need to make this thing safe. I'm not cut out to be Mr. Mom to Carly and Erica at the time.
Right.
And stuck my hand out the window and figured out that the downforce that we could get and the shape that we could get might help that bike go faster. And inevitably, it helped motorcyclists all over the world, made it safer for them. We got design patents on it, and they thought, they being Drake Specialties, who's my exclusive distributor here in the US, thought we'd sell 500, right? We
Mhm.
crushed that number, right?
Mhm.
And to think that, they said, if you'll never sell more than 17,000 of one thing. We did it the first year.
Wow, the
And
first
Jesus,
year.
so
yeah, and so, you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul, because you didn't have $300,000 to put in inventory. And
Mhm.
yet
right.
the orders kept coming in. I mean, I remember Arlen Ness, I gave him one at Cincinnati, and he called me before, that was like 2 or 3 weeks before Daytona, right? He called me within those 3 weeks and said, "Hey, Brian, I need 10 more of those." I'm like, "Ugh, I don't have 10 more." I gave away the 50 I had at Cincinnati just to try to seed the flowers and see what happens, right? And now to think that we have a global brand and that we're distributed in Japan, we're distributed in Australia, Canada, parts Europe. It's kind of mind boggling, from that single car garage in Mitchell, South Dakota. So,
And it goes far beyond windshields too. Like for our project, we're going to be using some stellar Clockworks pieces to
and
make
that's where
our
and that's
come
where I
live in.
started. That's where I started, Athena. I worked so hard at Chris Webber, both in that little garage, and they're like, "What are you doing? Why you keep messing with that fender?" I said, "This is going to be called the benchmark fender. It'll
Yep.
be the fender by which all others are judged." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I went to two different fender manufacturers, and they said there's no room for you in this." I said, "Well, Drake Specialty is telling me I got some good ideas, and maybe I should work with you." And they're like, "You heard us. There's no room." And finally, the next time we went by them and Laura heard that, she goes, "That's ridiculous. You should just swim
Right.
upstream. You should go for it." And the benchmark
Absolutely.
fender
That's who she
was my
is.
was my first fender. It was my first part, and we're still selling it to this day, right? And so, the fact that they're stamped right here in the US, 14 gauge steel, they're all E-coated. It makes it super easy for you to cut, weld, grind, make it your own. It's like a blackboard of a fender. You just do what you want to do.
I love that. And my shovelhead FLH has a benchmark front fender on it, and
I know.
that's it. And, that's the thing though. And when you pick it up, it's literally real steel. Us kids from the '70s, we get it. You remember the T-shirts, '70s and the '80s, the
Yep.
real steel. That was forged metal. And when you pick those up, and she's been through some things too, and she just keeps going.
I had a guy one time who said a guy in front of him, for whatever reason, put his car in reverse at the light,
Mhm,
and bent his fender, right?
mhm.
He got off his bike. He was so pissed off, not really at the guy, but that he bent his fender. So he yanked on it. It went pop, popped right back up, didn't even chip the paint. And he's like, "Yeah," he goes, "You do that with something else." I'm like, "I don't even want to try that with something else." Like,
Wow.
I can't imagine how mad you were to bend that back.
Yeah.
So,
And they are durable, and they mount really well. And being able to, as a builder, using the builder package to where
yeah,
it's clean
you
and
said it. You said it. Yeah.
everything the way we want, and with the tail light all molded, it's going to be beautiful. I'm super excited about
Don't
that.
tell him. Don't tell him.
There's some other things that we got going on too that they don't know.
I
So
know.
we'll give them a little hint
I
here and there.
I love
You
that, but that's part of the build process, right? That's part of following along nowadays. And people get so excited because it's the internet. They just want to show it all, tell it all, bring it all, and you only get to do this once, right?
right.
And so I'd rather have the drip campaign. I'd rather feel a little bit, see a little bit, see a little bit, because I
But
get
we have it.
engaged, right? It's
Yeah.
like I want to follow your story. I want to follow what you're doing, whether it's in your life, whether it's you're building your bike, whatever. Like, just show me a little something. Give me a teaser. I'm happy to play along.
And that's what we've been doing. So we've up until this point, when we get the parts, we do nice little unboxing videos. You know what I mean? And we just kind of leave it at that for a minute. And so some of the pieces are confusing to someone who would just fit the pieces together. So that in itself is kind of cool. And then, we string it along. We're going to give you just little teasers, like you said, but there's a whole compilation of generations of motorcycles and then people who are artists that I'm like incredibly excited about, the individuals and the companies that are involved in all of this, because as you know, when we do something like this, we take it on, it's because it's an honor to do it, especially like for Road Guardians for all they do, and for the Sturgis Museum for all they do, and keeping the history alive and keeping our riders safe. I mean, it, other than kids, pets, and
There you
veterans, I
go.
mean, we're it's all right on the same. That's what's important to us, and that's why I was definitely like, okay, and not something we want to rush it. Handmade, is hand built, just says it all. And so for some lucky person who buys the ticket and wins the motorcycle, maybe they'll have some more than just a a regular raffle bike, because there's lots of raffles that go on. So I want to make this one really special and have some handmade stuff, and not just from myself, but again, like the history behind your parts and some of the other parts and the companies like Paco, and it's just cool. And then for those of us who have been using those parts for the longest periods of time and stood behind them, it just makes it so much better when we get to do some cool stuff and they kind of scratch their heads and they're like, wow, that's cool. I look at that, it doesn't come that way, but they
Erin,
made that.
Erin has some pictures that
Erin
she,
has pictures. I love it.
yeah.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I've seen this wall.
Is that your signature shirt?
That is, we made that shirt in a plaid shirt, and we wore plaid to one of the Cincinnati events, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" Like in the
I
black, wore the
remember
black
that.
t-shirts. We wore that stupid shirt, and it was a short sleeve shirt at that time. Had a big patch on the back said Clockworks. And so when we did a flannel with Dixon, that's called the tribute flannel.
That's what I was
And
wondering. I saw you in Cincinnati in that red shirt, the
yeah,
short sleeve shirt. I
and
remember.
we used to do weird stuff like that. The one time we wore those light blue with brown piping Western shirts, and
Yeah.
just to change it up,
Yes,
just to
sir.
try to
I
make it
remember.
fun, right?
Uh-huh. I love it. Look at that.
So
Yeah.
that's the fairing that Tony got too for his
Yes, correct.
Star Course. He stuck his head in here before you came on.
Nice.
And he says, "Tell Brian I love my fairing."
I love that he loves it, and the fact that he kind of swam upstream and riding an Indian, and he's got choppers and he's got all the Harley stuff and all that, but he wanted his road bike, and he's like, "But I think I need a fairing." I'm like, "I know this is probably an oxymoron to put this original kind of Harley design on a Indian, but man, it looks so good and it works so good."
Yeah.
And we have guys
custom.
out in Virginia Beach that are riding them. My wife, Vanessa, just rode Motley Blue the other day. That's my version of an Indian with that fairing on it, and
Right.
it's just a treat, And I didn't invent that. I didn't make that first. But when I got so many guys calling me saying, "Hey, this fairing, the windshield doesn't fit," and I'm like, "My windshield should fit. It's made to OE the original FXRP." And they're like, "Okay, well, I don't know. It just doesn't work." And so when it kept happening, I'm like, "All right, boys, it's time to jump in the pool.
Right.
We can do this. We can make it as good as anybody. And we got to finish it right. We got to make sure all the bolts and all the brackets and all the things are right." And, when Tony was putting his on over at Milwaukee Indian and keeping me updated, I mean, I was just giggling because I was like, he's like, "I love it. Look at all these bolt packages. Look at this. Look at that." And I'm like, for someone who's been around the motorcycle world that long and done that much stuff, to be celebrating ease, if you will, and how
Yeah.
simple it was. Oh man, that makes me happy.
And he just rode it. He just rode that bike back from Mississippi,
I like it.
almost 800 miles last weekend.
Yeah.
And he got home and he was like, he wasn't even really that beat up. I was like,
He's like, "I just love my bike."
dude,
Awesome.
I would have been beat up on my bike.
Yeah.
Well,
for
so
sure.
anyway, yeah. So he just,
And of course, that picture is the flare windshield.
yeah.
That thing has been, we're now 20 years into the design of the flare windshield. It's been 20 years since we did the WFB, since we did Discovery. And next year, Clockworks as a company will be celebrating 30 years. And so,
Fabulous.
man, I'm just so grateful for all those people out there and all the customers and everybody who's been loyal to us, and people who have gone astray and came back. And then they come back, they're like, "I knew I should have never dated that girl." Like, it's okay. You got to try that other part. It's okay. Like,
I
I've
like
been
that.
fun.
there for 16 years and I want nothing else. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, it's works so great. And I can wear a hat on my head and it just like, it changes the flow of the wind. And
Yeah, one of my guys, Dave, you see that green shirt, that's as close as we've gotten to a Packers anything. But I saw your jersey you got on there, Vicki. And I mean, my guy Dave, who's one of my ace shippers, is going to be like, "Man, I'm going to
Go
need that
Cowboys.
jersey. I'm going to need that jersey." Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan. Sorry.
I know.
I got the blue on, So.
Listen, my
when I was
grandson.
out there, when I was out at the museum in they had just gotten these shirts in, and I just love it.
Yeah,
So
I bet.
yeah, yep. So
My
there's
grandson decided to be a Packers fan out of nowhere at 5 years old. Just said
Of
he was a
course.
Packers fan. So yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He rubbed Micah Parsons thing in our face really bad as grandparents at a 6 year old. That was pretty brutal.
so this
I
was just
bet.
a few years ago. You started getting into some colors.
Yeah, and this particular one, that is Paul Whitmore, my friend from Vegas. That's his bike. And he painted the original 8-inch windshield. That's an '07 bike that we built way, way back in the day. In '07, it was brand new. It's been 2 or 3 different colors now. Painted the windshield, and then he came to Arizona Bike Week this year, and he started looking at those dang handguards, right? And he goes, "Man, those flare handguards! Like I should maybe try that, but I can't decide. Should I do the orange because my bike is orange on this side, but it's that lime green on the other side?"
Right?
And I'm like, "Yeah, just go get a couple packages, boys, and break them up." And Paul's been my friend for more than 30 years. Like, let's make it special. So now he's got the orange on the one side, the green on the other side, and people just freak. He pulls into traffic and he's like, people just stop. They just stare at me. They're like, what is that? Like, what are you doing? And he goes, but they don't run me over. They can surely see me. So
Some pretty intense color, definitely.
yeah.
Oh.
And that's me and Vanessa on the cow petty ride.
Mhm.
Vanessa doesn't get nearly enough credit for doing what she does at Clockworks. I mean, she truly runs this. She is such a number cruncher and such an like she could code if she wanted to. She knows that much about computers. And when you see our distribution center and all the things that we have going on and the software that runs it, that's all her.
Right?
She loves to ride. She would love to come hang out with you, Athena, and just work on the bike.
Oh,
That's
anytime.
no, that's her dream. That's her dream.
Oh,
She's always just like, could I just take off like half the week, or can I just take off Wednesday afternoons and work on motorcycles? Like, I
come
get it,
on.
baby. And then
Oh, yeah.
suddenly life happens, and she's just back at it, hauling the mail. So
Oh, and that's it too. And especially with kids that's an
yeah,
important position to have because the
yeah,
organization and everything that goes along with all the, everything that you've built, you have to have
we
all that. So, but listen, we'll schedule something for sure that she comes down
yeah.
and hangs out
I,
and we
I
definitely
still have a
can shop.
question about that last picture. Where
Okay.
was she in the picture that was on the right?
Was that Daytona?
The picture in the right is in Daytona. You are right, Chicky.
Yeah, we
That
rode on that. That
is
was the
that
ladies'
was
ride. We biker bells. She rode
Oh,
that. I
okay.
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Carly was with us too.
yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's that bike's called Kachow after Lightning McQueen. When he would pose in the movies like Kachow, Kachow. He'd take all these pictures, right? And so our son Cargo loves Lightning McQueen. So there's a Lightning McQueen on the fender, and it's called Kachow, and it's red and gold to match his car. And
Love it.
so
That's
yeah,
fun.
that's a bike designed by a 4-year-old.
Right.
Cargo is now 5, and that's him in the thumbs up. And then that is our beautiful daughter, Ashlyn. Ashlyn is got 1 semester of high school left, and then
Oh,
she'll be graduating early. She is a nurse CNA.
oh, off to
So
college.
she helps out at the local nursing home here, and she just got herself at 16 got herself a new Scout 101. She was taking her mom's bikes all the time, so now she's got her own little that fairing on there, Vicky. So now I got to make a new kit. But
That's awesome.
everybody who rides one of those just like I got to have that fairing,
Of
So
course.
That's a beautiful family photo. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's so cute.
and
Oh,
that's when he was little.
look at
So that is on Cowboy Dave's Vikla. Dave Seatsma, who was with us for more than a decade at Clockworks, now runs the Corn Palace, actually. And that bike
Really?
still lives in our shop, and Dave just comes out and gets it when he needs it. And, Cargo just loves motorcycles. That's all there's to it. He grew up around them. He went to Daytona. He's been to every Sturgis since he was 4 weeks old. So
I remember when you brought your little baby there. I was like,
I know everybody's like, what are you doing? I said, he can't say he's gone every year if he doesn't start right now.
All those
exactly.
different windshields. Look at
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. That's a nice picture. I like
Yeah,
that.
and so we do a lot of those cascades so people can understand that that is a 6-inch, a 9-inch, a 14-inch, a 12-inch pro touring, and a 15-inch Pro Touring. And it looks like the 12 is taller than the 14,
Right.
but we measure it from the front to the back. And so the angle changes the actual measurement. So you might think you want a 14, but a 12 Pro Touring would actually work better for the rider and the passenger. The
Right.
14 is a little narrower, a little more sporty. Some people think it's a little more sexy. I think they're all sexy. So
No doubt, for sure.
Because it has the Clockworks logo on there too, so that's like super sexy.
well, I was so fortunate. I drew that thing when we were in Las Vegas. I had a clock originally as my original thing, and of course it was set to 5 o'clock. And it was the O in the KLOCK. And then we were in Vegas, and I went through the old sign graveyard down by Fremont Street.
Yeah.
And I just love old motel and hotel and bowling signs and all this stuff. And I thought, well, they always use those blocks, and it's Flamingo Bowl or whatever, right? And I was like, man, I'll just draw some diamonds and I'll put my name in there. And I put my last name in there, and then I went, that looks pretty cool. Like maybe a spade. I don't know. I'll try that. So I put it around there. Then I wrote Werks, and that's actually my handwriting. And I brought it home and I gave it to one of the World of Work kids we had working for us, out of high school. I said, take this to your art teacher and ask him what I should do to this. He took it there, and the art teacher put in that little white highlight on the bottom of the leg and that little one on the right hand side of the spade.
Right.
And he goes, tell him he's done. It's perfect.
Nice.
And I was like, wow. And now, people want the shirt, they want the hat, they want the stickers. They really want the stickers.
30
And if I
years.
don't send stickers,
That's a sin. That you're committing a crime.
Yeah.
stickers. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll send you some stickers. Give me your address. Sometimes we miss putting them in the package. So
Yeah. One of the other things you've done that, it's just something I really enjoy every year is you would, and I think it was the first time I actually met you, was like I had stopped at your place on the way to Sturgis because I had heard about this party you were doing, the pre-Sturgis party.
yeah,
And Beaner was there, and
Yep.
it was,
yep.
but that has turned into like an entire community event. It was just in the back of the garage, you could stop
Yeah,
there.
and
Now it's the whole town.
Yeah, tell us about that. Oh,
for
people-
year 30 that we need to bring it back to the garage. I don't know where the hell we put 5,000 people, but
Yeah.
we get 5,000 people downtown Mitchell Main Street. This year will be special because Blake Red Farron, he just goes by Red Farron, is his stage name. But Red Farron is a up and coming country artist. He is being played currently on the highway on XM radio, and just came out with a new album last week. He wrote songs like Jack and Diet Coke and Just Like Johnny.
Oh, okay.
So
Just Like
kind of
Johnny.
country rapish kind of guy. He's done a song with Wiz Khalifa. Anyway, all that to say, he's going to play a free concert at our party this year. So
Cool.
it's going to be huge. I mean, it's crazy to think we could get a mainstream artist who's just played Stagecoach, just did a night at the Opry, and I mean, he's going to be playing at the Corn Palace, right outside for God and everybody. We're excited that he'll be there, and that's courtesy of my friends at Jack Daniels and the folks at Indian Motorcycle, and we're building Red Farron a special bike, and so
Cool.
he won't see it until that night. So we'll debut his motorcycle, and he'll be playing his concert. And Vicki, I'm surprised. I think you're keeping your camping spot secret.
I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want to tell anybody.
Don't tell everybody that want to be parked there first.
I love it.
I was
So
pretty
we-
impressed with that you made, your hospitality exceeds none other, and yeah, so tell them that.
okay, so we have 3 camping spots
Two.
right behind our shop. It's
Two
usually
now.
2. Okay, Vicky's there. We're 2. Okay, but you'll be parked by a celebrity, Vicky. Okay, and we put sod in there and sprinkler systems and a few little trees, and it just gets nicer and nicer all the time. But we got 3 concrete pads, 50 amp service, water, sewer hookups, and it's free. So
That's
we
cool.
always we thought about putting it on one of those harvest host sites where you can go to these places and stay at the camper or whatever. And then, like the rent is, buy a t-shirt or whatever, just, we don't really care.
Right.
But the idea is if you're coming through with your toy hauler, if you're coming through and you really want to see Clockworks and you're thinking about coming to Mitchell, I pound my fist hard for Mitchell, South Dakota. I love our little town.
It is cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a must do.
We'd love to host you.
Yeah, must do stop. On the way. It's halfway between Milwaukee and Sturgis. So
I know you just mentioned Dana from Metalwood Garage earlier, Chicky, and it was so funny because she now makes it a point now that
your phone keeps
selfie or does something silly and then heads on down the road and says, I stopped.
I stopped at Clockworks. Right.
Yeah.
I got to stop
Yeah.
to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's,
We're
she's
lucky.
listening right now. She's here live. She's
Oh,
listening.
right on.
And
But
we're
we-
blessed. We have a great
that-
moto family for sure.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is, you get somebody like Dana who hasn't been in the scene as far as, being part of the circus and setting up at all these events that long. And she just comes in with this great heart and just melds right in, right?
Oh, and she's so talented.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's so fun, right?
It's
just
awesome.
like,
Yes. And her personality, same way, But again, that's the best part about projects like these and, doing them is because we all collectively, we have that positive soul spirit moving forward and we just want to do great things and support our community. So that's the best part for me. I love that.
I agree. And I think I always say there's nothing better than standing on the stage with 30 or 40 people who
Mhm.
helped, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather do that than be up there pounding my own chest any day.
And Vicki, for her to come up with the whole thing of, most people would have just said, oh my God, I'm going to go build a bike. I'm going to have a new
Right.
bike in my garage. She's like, I want to give back. And I mean, that speaks volumes as to the caliber of people that we're blessed to be around on a regular basis, I think, for me. So I'm always in that.
Agree. So did you already tell the people early on? I'm sorry, I was struggling with my technical difficulties. Like, when are you going to give this bike away? Like, do you have a deadline that you have to meet? Or are you just building it and when it happens, it happens?
No, we're going to be doing the raffle, the final drawing next year in Sturgis, not this year, because we can't start selling raffle tickets until 6 months prior. And we really want to do it with the museum. It's going to be after the Hall of Fame. And by the way, for anybody who's listening that doesn't know, Brian's also in the Hall of Fame. So in Sturgis Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
And so it's going to be, that's going to be like the final push was the Hall of Fame. And then in the afternoon at the Dave Perowitz paint show,
Okay.
we're going to be doing the drawing.
Oh, right on. So,
Vicki's
so
also in the
Sturgis
Hall of Fame.
2027.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we want 6 months or so. We want some time that we can take the bike on a tour.
If for some reason, like, let me just throw this out there. If my team convinces me to bring the party back to the shop or even have just a crazy day at the shop, it'll be our 30th anniversary. We would love to host you and the Project Guardian bike and sell tickets at our show, at our shop the whole day if we can.
That's fabulous.
I
Kind of
would-
as you're making that final run into Sturgis
I'm just going to say
2027.
yes
huh?
for her. I'm sure she's going to say yes, but
you know what I'm going to say is like, if as long as you don't give away my camping.
I knew that was coming. She's like, okay, I'll tell Beth right now, make you a special
27.
30th anniversary Vicki Sanfilippo sign.
That's it.
This spot reserved for,
Well, and Chicky will be out there too. So
I will.
you'll get both of us. So
all right, that'd be great. That'd be great.
We'll track out to Sturgis, and we have, they want us to take the bike and have it displayed at a whole bunch of the events out in Sturgis as well. So this bike's going to have history on it before the person. Not only will it be the coolest bike, like so special and have all those special parts, but it's also going to have the story that goes behind it, which I think is just as valuable as the bike itself.
Agreed, 100%. And I don't know. I mean, when you put your heart into something like you guys have, and Vicky, you go around and teach so many people how to be
Yep.
better in crisis situations. I think
Absolutely.
it elevates any situation. I just
Absolutely.
I just admire what you do.
Oh, thank you. And we're coming to you next year. We're going
I
to train your staff. So
I'm excited. I'm sorry I missed the one that Andrea LaBarbera hosted out at Fault Line Customs at Jay's shop. So
there's,
Nice. Me
we'll
too.
get another 20 people together.
I
'Cause,
know, I
I
know.
mean, it's like there's so many people, and all of us need to know how to help each other. Every
Right.
one of us, it's the brotherhood, sisterhood thing to know how to help your friend if something goes wrong, and Athena's like she has firsthand knowledge because she got
Sure
helped by
do.
our
Yep.
people, and,
Yep.
and she saw
And
them.
and listen, my benchmark fender hung in there too.
So, so anyway, it's such a, I mean, I think I could talk to you like for 2 days.
All night.
So, but we're gonna start wrapping up, and there's so many people in so many ways that people can support us. Not only can you support with bike parts, and if you got media stuff, if you like Tommy's, who's here too. He's in the chat. Tommy is going to be having us at Thunder Beach next year,
I'm
and
excited about it. Yep.
he's there. So there's so many different ways that you could be involved and that you could help us and be part of this story of this bike. So if you've got parts or anything else, contact Chicky. If you would like to donate and be part of that, because there's the parts, and they're all getting donated and put together by Chicky. But then there's the insurance, there's moving the bike around from point A to point B. We do have to order signage and everything, and we could take that out of the fundraiser and do something where it's like at the end of the day we're going to donate proceeds, but we want all of the money to go to our donated charity, to our charity. So we're raising money so we can make sure that every ticket that somebody buys, 100% of that is going to be split by the museum and by Road Guardians. So we're working hard to do all of that stuff. Here's our board of all the people so far who have donated parts and things to us. And if you want to be part of that, let us know. Anybody who donates $1,000 or more in parts or money is going to be on a special plaque that we are going to be presenting to the museum for Project Guardians with all the people who made this thing go. If you want to be part of that, Biker Wolfpack Law is our major sponsor, our title sponsor. And they came on board immediately. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be doing this. I said, if they say yes, we're going to do it. If they say no, then we're going to go a different direction. And they said yes. So I'll forever be indebted to Glenn Larson Law in Texas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we need parts. So
Yeah.
holler.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, give Athena a call, and she's got a lot of stuff, but there's even more. It's unbelievable what goes into this. She has 25 pages of all the things she needs.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Athena, if there's any way you can post a list of like the things you're missing, because some of the stuff isn't like, it might be genuine Harley, it might be something that needs to be bought or something one of
Absolutely.
us might have. If you could put that out there, I'll circulate it as well
circulate.
through our
Okay.
Clockworks team and all of
I'll
our
do that.
followers. And okay.
Okay, I'll get
Right.
it over to you, and we'll figure out how we do that, and I'll get it to Vicky too, so she can put it up there.
Well, I'm honored to be a part of it, ladies. I can't wait to see you, and I'll continue to cheer you on. And please, send me the message anytime I can share any of these podcasts or anything you're doing. Let's do it. I'm 100% behind your project.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Send
All
our
right.
love
Have a
to
good
the
night. Love you
family.
guys.
All right. Love you too.